Please take your seats. I trust you all had a good week. Lovely to see you here despite the weather. I hope that you all read chapters 5, 6, and 7 as I assigned this past week. Well, I'm sure you all did. You know, actually, I'm going to do things a little differently today. I'd like to pose a question to the class. By a show of hands, who here has ever heard of Alfred Wegener? One person. That's good. That's good, though. Wegener was a German meteorologist who 2 decades ago, in 1912, postulated that all 7 continents were in fact one continent. I see this is ringing a few bells. I think the Greeks called it Pangea. He had a German name for it, but I won't try to attempt that very well now. But yes, he postulated that the 7 continents were like puzzle pieces, and he put them together. They were all one massive piece of land. His theories regarding this were widely rejected and remain quite controversial to this day. I mean, it's frightening, really. How could something so large and powerful break apart so radically? He died 2 years ago. He froze to death in Greenland. He was on an expedition studying the weather for 1 year. What I find fascinating is that the German government funded this expedition when really they did not have the money to spare. They're still suffering from war shortages and debt after the Great War. And really bad financial straits. I know it's something we don't like to speak of, but we're really not that different from them in that way. So he did not live to see his theories accepted, really, or rejected. You know, I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to cut class really short. I know this is unorthodox. I mean, it's a 5-minute class. But I would like you all to go home this weekend. And I want you to write a 1-page paper simply on what you think of all this. There's no right answers, so don't try to look for one from me. The only way you could fail this paper is if simply you don't write it. It obviously has to be about Wegener. It could be about his theories, whether you agree with it, or you're intrigued by it, or you just completely don't agree about it. It could be about the way he looked in the face of conventional science and tried something different, and he was opposed. It could very much be about the way he died. But I want you all to write this paper, and I want you to think this weekend about things that should not be. Thank you all. That'll be all for the week. Have a nice weekend.
someone hurt you? If someone hurt you, you should tell me.
No.
I'm sorry, it's just so strange to see a young woman alone at the church at this hour. I'm just here because I like the quiet. I've been studying. Are you sure you're all right? You look feverish. Yeah, let's see.
Stop bleeding. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. It's all
sorry.
right.
I'm sorry.
Please, no, please. Shh. You're fine. You're fine. My name is Albert. I'd like to help you. What's your name?
I'm Clara.
All right, Clara. Would you like me to take you to the hospital?
No. No.
Your parents must be worried sick. Would you like me to take you home?
No.
All right, we'll stay right here.
I can't go home.
It's all right.
I can't go home anymore. Ow.
It'll pass. Pain always does. Just let it out. God already knows. God knows everything.
I'll take the baby back. Take anyone.
No, he won't. The baby wasn't baptized. He'll go to limbo. It's a place outside of God's presence. It's nothing. It's no place forever.
I don't understand.
Your baby will never feel the light of God.
Why?
Shh, it's all right. Please, it's
Can't
done.
be here anymore.
Come with me. Come with me, please.
Okay. Okay. I feel dizzy.
You're going to be just fine. Everything is fine now. Here we are.
Where are we?
This is where I work. I'm a doctor of paleontology at Miskatonic. This is my storage room where I do my research. Do you believe in fate, Clara?
I don't know.
I do. I believe that everything happens for a reason. I was studying in the church tonight. I think you were sent to me. I think you were the answer. Would you like to hear it? It's from Genesis. It's the story of Abraham, the first prophet. Sometime later, God tested Abraham. He said to him, "Abraham." "Here I am," he replied. Then God said, "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains I will tell you about."
Why are you reading me this story?
Early the next morning, Abraham got up and saddled his donkey.
I don't want to hear this one.
He took with him 2 of his servants and his son Isaac. When he had cut enough wood for the burnt offering, he set out for the place God had told him about.
What's that?
On the 3rd day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance.
What
He
else
said to
is
his
in this
servants,
room?
"Stay here, I and the boy will go worship." Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and the knife and put them on his son Isaac. And Isaac said, "Father, we have the wood and the knife for the burnt offering, but where is the lamb?" "You are the lamb." Baroka Adonai Eloheinu, Eloheinu Barok Alacho. Gloria Patri, et Filio, et Spiritus Sancto. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who...
Riley!
Where are you? It didn't work.
Something is happening to me. It's happening inside of me, and I have no idea what this is.
All right.
No, no.
I am so sorry.
Nurse, please. Please, this is not like before. This is something different. I don't understand what this is. Nurse, please. Please.
Lie down.
No! It's gonna come back.
You need to rest. Your body needs to rest. You need to lie down.
What if it comes back? Please. Please don't leave me.
I'll never leave you. I told you. I'm right here.
Hello. Excuse me. I'm not even sure that I'm in the right place. Is this the psychiatric ward? I'm looking for a patient who was brought here about 9 months ago named Riley Danforth.
Are you family?
No. No, I'm not family. I was with him on the expedition when he had his incident a couple of years back. My name is William Dyer. Do you know him? Or maybe where I could look for him? Could you point me in the right direction, perhaps?
I'm his nurse.
Oh, I see. How is he? Is he well? Has he been doing better since he's been here?
No. He's in pain. He can't sleep.
Has he mentioned me at all, or anything about the journey? Anything at all about his experience?
No, he won't tell me anything.
Has anyone else been here to see him?
No. No one. You're his friend?
Yes, I'm his friend.
Will you try to talk to him?
Oh, I don't know. Where is he?
Over there.
All right. I'll go speak to him. I'm sorry, I can't do this right now. I don't think I should see him. This was a mistake. I'm so
Mistake?
No, well, what I meant was, I don't think that this is the right time for me to see him. I don't want to be reminding him of some of the things that he saw. I tell you what, though. I teach at Miskatonic, at the university. I live just a couple of blocks down the street, and when I'm not teaching, I'm always at home. If he mentions anything about the journey, anything at all, or he says my name, I would like you to call me at this number, and I will come back and see him.
Will Dyer.
Yes. It was very lovely.
You'll come back?
Yes, I'll come back. It was very lovely meeting you, Miss. Thank you.
Been up all night working. If it's almost morning, then yes, I have.
Not quite morning. It certainly isn't night either.
It's limbo.
Is everything okay? Heard a lot of noises last night.
It's nothing. I knocked over one of the crates. It's fine. Nothing was damaged.
Were you alone?
Yes,
Thought I heard voices.
I was talking to myself.
You do know what they say about people who talk to themselves.
It's not a problem until they start talking back.
Exactly. I think you've been spending too much time staying up all night reading all those books.
The library just sent me over some new texts, some pre-Masoretic Hebrew that I could compare to the Old Testament and the Quran.
A little light reading.
Well, I'm looking for answers.
That's the question.
I don't know. I just know that it has something to do with why God stopped talking to people after the Old Testament.
You're talking to the wrong man. Never had much use for God myself. Well, I'm not going to get some sleep. Would you like some coffee? I just put on a fresh pot.
Did you make it the way you like it?
Turn the other way.
Well, not if you want to take the paint off a Jeep.
Trying to put some hair on your chest.
Ulcers in my stomach, more like.
Ulcers. I think that's the least of my problems, don't you?
Charles, did you leave your boots on all night again?
I didn't see any reason to take them off.
Oh, possibly because the doctor said you had to.
Doctor. What does he know anyway?
He's a doctor.
A lot of good he's done me.
Look, he said that if you don't take your boots off at least 20 minutes a day, you open yourself up to all kinds of infections.
Really ruined my dancing career.
Gout or gangrene could infect your torso, and then where would you be?
Probably sitting right here in this chair.
Don't be sardonic, Charles. You know what else I heard?
What?
The nurse told me that you had not let her massage your legs.
Have you
in
seen
3
that
days.
nurse? Have you seen her?
She's a very handsome woman.
Isn't that being polite? What's that?
That's just the news.
I want to hear what they have to say today.
Any information regarding the events of their ill-fated expedition. Listeners of WRKM will recall that the Starkweather Moore expedition was launched nearly a year ago to follow up on the aborted 1930 Peabody expedition to Antarctica.
It's the same
Starkweather
Moore
and
they've
Moore
been
reached
reading
the
all week.
Antarctic continent with a crew of 12 scientists and field experts, and initial reports came back without incident. Then, after a prolonged and unexplained radio silence, Mr. Starkweather and Dr. Moore suddenly appeared on American shores, alone. Miskatonic University, Dr. Moore, and Mr. Starkweather had denied all requests for interviews and had offered no comment on this mysterious tragedy. However, Through the tireless efforts of WRKM reporters and staff, we have persuaded Miskatonic University to provide us with this pre-recorded statement by none other than the head of the expedition, Dr. Moore. They have to say. Here it is.
Yes, we have come home. Yet we are deeply saddened. Of the 12 explorers who set out on this expedition, only myself and Mr. Charles Starkweather remain. Deep fissures in the Antarctic ice caused a cave-in, which killed most of our students, took the use of Mr. Starkweather's legs, and destroyed our radio transmission equipment. While it is impossible to compensate for this loss of human life, we are pleased to be able to bring back fossil samples of the highest quality, which may very well change the way we in the world of science look at the origins of prehistoric life on this planet. It is worth noting that had this expedition not gone forward as planned, these fossils, exposed and abandoned by the Peabody expedition, would have been irreparably damaged by another harsh Antarctic winter. While I choose not to speculate on my colleague Dr. Dyer's motives for trying to dissuade our mission, I can say that we found nothing to substantiate his delusions of ancient cities or unnatural creatures. As for his protege, Mr. Riley Danforth, I can only say that I wish him the best recovery and believe his incident and subsequent internment at the Arctic Sanitarium to be the natural reaction of a sensitive young man to the high stress and grief at the loss of his comrade, not the consequence to some paranormal encounter. I am very sorry to report that before our own tragedy, we did find human remains in the Peabody stream on the Antarctic ice field. However, we were only able to recover one body from the ice, that of our colleague Louis Gettman. There will be a memorial service to mourn him and those lost from our expedition at 8 o'clock Friday morning at St. Mary's Church. We do request that in lieu of flowers, you donate to the Miskatonic's Geological Survey Fund.
Well, there you have it. In response to our
What the hell
questions
was that
about
all
the
about?
samples, the
I had to tell them
university has told
something.
us that any information
Sure
about
had a
the
lot to
nature...
They were hounding us, Charles.
I thought we promised not to say anything to anyone.
Look, the phone was ringing off the hook. Look, Charles. The dean of students asked me to make that speech. I'm sorry. The man holds my career in the palm of his hand.
You usually have no problem keeping secrets.
Look, Charles, it was a lapse of judgment not to run anything I said past you, but remaining quiet was no longer an option.
Well, I'm not going to that memorial service today. You heard the radio. Everyone in the town's going to be there, and I don't want them to see me like this. I want to see that look in their eyes.
You have to go. We don't mourn for ourselves. We mourn for the dead. And you know that Louis would have wanted to be mourned at a mass. And he would have wanted you to be there.
You don't have to tell me what Louis would want. I will go for Louis. For any other reason. But I'm not saying anything to anyone. Do you understand?
Yes.
Go and leave as soon as it's over. Can you promise that? And
We'll go. We won't say a word to anyone, and then we will leave. I promise. Can you do this one?
Oh, God damn it! Damn it!
It is a terrible sight to see our beloved explorer so restrained. I'm sure we all assume the pain that we must feel for this sad day. The deceased Louis Gedney was unquestionably a great admirer of Mr. Starkweather, and even more tragically, was the younger brother of the late Mrs. Starkweather. Be assured that the full account of Mr. Starkweather's reaction will be reported after the service. This is WRKM
Dr. Moore.
Hello, Will.
Mrs. Starkweather. Albert, I just wanted to say that you have my deepest sympathies and condolences for what you must be going through now.
Thank you.
I have been trying to reach you since you have returned, Albert.
I know.
I have a few questions that I would like to ask you as soon as
Look,
possible.
Will, I know you think your questions are very important, but this isn't the time or the place.
Then perhaps we need to go somewhere. Look, Albert, it's okay. We don't have to be alone in this anymore. We can do this together.
We're not doing anything together.
What are you talking about? Albert, listen to me. I know you saw what I saw down there.
We saw nothing.
Albert, you would have had to have found Louis Gedney in the tunnel system in the city,
We
because it's where I
found
found him.
Lewis in a cave.
You did not. Albert, you did not find Louis in a cave. You found him in the tunnels because that's where I found him. I found him in the tunnels beneath
Found
the
him!
city.
You mean where you killed him? After you mutilated his body and taught him that I still left him here to rot?
I beg your pardon, Mr.
How
Starkweather.
dare you come here and disrespect his memory?
Mr. Starkweather, there
How
were
dare
creatures
you?
in Antarctica that did
Creatures.
this to him. And
Creatures.
I know
Did you
this
hear
is
that,
not
Albert?
fact.
Creatures. This man is insane. Get him out
Ma'am,
of here.
there were
now.
creatures in
He's
Antarctica
done enough.
that
Get
did
him
this to
out of
him. There were
here.
creatures in
Wow! You know the university has no patience
For professors who begin dabbling in the occult! You know what happened to Rice, Armitage, and Morgan when they came back from Dunwich.
Albert, I said nothing about the occult. What are you talking?
Nevertheless, I did not want to talk about this here, but you have been called before the Board of Regents to answer to a charge of ethical misconduct.
Ethical misconduct.
There are serious questions about how you handled your team in Antarctica, Will.
Why?
Will,
No.
pull yourself together. You only have a few days to mount a defense. I strongly suggest you waste no more time.
Lord be with you. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Why did he mention that much? I'm going to try some more cadets. I was in 29. I was in 29. Armed. 29. Bizarre book theft foiled in Miskatonic, Dunwich suspect killed in attempted library robbery. Board of Regents suspend monster hunters on charges of ethical misconduct. February 1st, 1929. Today was attempted theft of Necronomicon by Wilbur Whately. prior to attempted theft was reading page 751 in volume. Subject, quote, melted into liquid. Translation of page subject was reading as follows. Nor is it to be thought that man is either the oldest or last of earth's masters, that the common bulk of life and substances walks alone. The old ones.
The old ones.
The old ones were, the old ones are, and the old ones shall be. Not in the spaces that we know, but between them. They walk, serene and primal, undiminished and to us unseen. He knows where the old ones broke through of old, and where they shall break through again. He knows where they have trod earth's fields, and where they still tread them, and why no one can behold them as they tread. By their smell can men sometimes know them near, but of their semblance can no man know, saving only in the features they have begotten on mankind. You needn't ask how Wilbur called it out of the air. He didn't call it out. It was his twin brother, but it looked more like the father than he did. They walk, unseen and foul, in lonely places, where the words have been spoken and the rights held through it through seasons. The wind gibbers with their voices, and the earth mutters with their consciousness. They bend the forest and crush the city. Yet they not a forest or a city behold the hand that smites. Kadath! And the cold waste hath known them, and what man knows Kadath? The ice desert of the south, and the sunken isles of the ocean. Their seal is engraven, but who hath seen the deep frozen city? Their cousin is great Cthulhu. Cthulhu! Yet he can spy them only dimly. Yeah! Shubni Jura! Man rules now where they ruled once. They shall soon rule where man rules now. After summer is winter, and after winter summer. They wait, patient and potent, for here shall they reign again. Their hand is at their throats, and yet ye see them not. Their habitation is even more their guarded threshold. Yog Sothoth.
William Henry Dyer.
Knows the gate. Yog Sothoth is the gate. Yog Sothoth is the key and guardian of the gate. Past, present, future, all are one in Yog Sothoth.
William Henry Dyer. William Henry Dyer. William Henry Dyer.
Riley.
William Henry Dyer. William. William Dyer. William Dyer is a professor at Miskatonic University. He is a friend of mine, and he was with me on the expedition. He can help. Will Dyer.
I'll find him.
Please, please.
This is William Dyer. Who is this? Hello?
Hello?
Who is this?
This is Danforth's nurse.
Is everything all right? Is he doing well?
Please, I need you to come quickly. Please, I need...
Okay. I need you to wait there. I will be there in only a couple of minutes, all right? I'll be right there. I'm hanging up now. Goodbye.
Hello?
What's wrong? What happened?
He said your name.
Okay, that's okay. That's good. It's very good. Did he say anything else? Anything? Any words or consonants that
that don't sound like they should be together.
I don't understand.
It's
I
okay,
don't
it's okay.
understand.
Shh, it's okay. Anything at all.
Good death.
Okay, yes, he would know that. That's good. That's good.
Cthulhu.
Makes sense. Okay. Anything else?
Wilbur Whately.
Where is he? I'll see you. Where is he?
Please come with me.
It's okay. It's okay.
Riley? There's someone here to see you.
Will?
Hello, old boy.
Here.
Come here, you son of a bitch. Come here. Ryan, so good to see you.
Thank you. Sit down.
You look well, old friend. So very good to see you.
Where you been?
Goodness, I suppose it has been some time. Probably last April or May was the last time I saw you.
Last time you saw me, I wasn't in here. I didn't have these.
I need to be left alone with him right now. I need you to get out of this room right now.
I can't leave.
No, I need you to get out of here right now. Do you understand me?
Get out. Just get out. I have wanted to see you. I truly have, old friend. I didn't want to remind you of bad experiences and memories.
It's okay. You're here right now.
That's right. That's right. I am here now. It's been very difficult out there, Riley. Universities, the board, are not believing anything we claimed. They don't know what
They don't know a damn thing.
No, I don't suppose they do.
At least the team won last week.
They did?
Miskatonic beat Harvard with 30 points. It was a hell of a game. You should have seen it.
Hell of a game.
Miskatonic, our comes pride and joy. Run the ball right into Boston, a touchdown sure this time. Ooh-rah, rah! Miskatonic, fight on for her fame. Fight, fellows, fight, 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 we'll win this game. It's been
That faculty, though, I tell you, they walk unseen and foul in lonely places.
Words have been spoken and the rights howl through at their seasons. You've been reading the Necronomicon.
I've been looking for answers. Yog-Sothoth knows the gate. Yog-Sothoth is the gate.
Yog-Sothoth is the key and the guardian of the gate. Past, present, future, all are one in Yog-Sothoth. You should be careful what you read in the books, William Henry Dyer. As a foulness shall ye know them. Their hand is at your throats, and yet ye see them not. And their habitation is even one with your guarded threshold. Foulness shall ye know them. Their hand is at your throats, yet ye see them not. And their habitation is even one with your guarded threshold.
No! 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 Why are you here? Why did you come here? Did you all go back? Why are you not and done what you were taking care of? Then answer me! Wake up! Look up! Answer me, damn you! Answer me! Why are you here? Why are you here? Come on! Come on!
Get out.
Clara has been missing ever since Thursday evening, a full 3 days and 4 nights ago, but her absence was only discovered today. Her parents believed she was spending the weekend with her cousins and had left early Friday morning to catch the train to nearby Dunwich, but she never reached her destination. Her cousins were unaware of her intended visit and therefore did not call when she didn't arrive. She was last seen Thursday night getting ready for bed and is presumed to have gone missing between the hours of 4 and 8 a.m. She is 16 with brown hair, blue eyes, and a slight figure. There are pictures available at all restaurants owned by the Walters and at the police station. If you have seen this girl at any point in time since last Friday, please contact the police emergency line. The family would like the public to know that they are offering a monetary reward for any information that leads to her safe return. In other news, Dr. William Dyer is making headlines again as he is brought before Miskatonic University's Board of Regents on charges of ethical misconduct. Dyer is best known for his tragic expedition to the Antarctic and the wild horror stories he later told in an attempt to dissuade the Starkweather-Moore expedition. Only last Friday, Dyer caused a commotion at the memorial service for Louis Gedney, a commotion which ended with Mr. Starkweather going so far as to actually accuse Dr. Dyer of the mutilation and murder of Mr. Louis Gedney. We go now to the ethics hearing to hear exactly what Dr. Dyer has to say.
I need to hear what he has to say. Are you going to come with me?
No. It wouldn't be appropriate.
Board of Regents, faculty, students, and administration of Miskatonic University. Ladies and gentlemen, I am forced into this speech because men of science have refused to follow my advice without knowing why. Of my studies concerning this matter, it is almost impossible to speak of, since they held so little connection to the living world as men conceive it. Doubt of the real facts as I must present them is expected, yet if I withheld everything that seems extravagant or unusual, there would be nothing left. Miskatonic University funded the Peabody expedition, which commenced September 30th, 1930. Our 20-man team consisted of 20 men from the university, 4 professors, 7 graduate students, and 9 skilled mechanics. The purpose of this expedition was to field test an experimental drill developed by Dr. Peabody in hopes of excavating ancient geological samples from the Antarctic. Our journey was fruitful and without unusual incident until January 22nd, 1931. On that date, a sub-expedition led by Professor Lake over Mount Nansen uncovered geological samples apparently over 500 million years old. Prior to this discovery, they were flying in their Dornier airplane over mountain ranges apparently dwarfing Mount Everest, where they cited, quote, unusual architectural anomalies within the ranges. Due to the fossil's resemblance to creatures known in ancient myths and certain texts, Professor Lake dubbed his finds the Elder Ones. Now, I assume the public remembers from our frequent wireless reports to the press, and in the larger scale, the excitement created amongst the scientific community over this discovery, which mirrored my own excitement back at base camp, until we lost contact with Lake's sub-expedition several hours later. After 12 hours of radio silence, I led the rest of the team in hopes of discovering what had occurred. We left by Dornier airplane, and within several hours, reported back the tragedy we had found. 11 known dead, including Professors Lake and Atwood, young graduate student Lewis Gedney, and one of our dogs, missing. Now, the public pardoned our hazy lack of details due to the trauma and the sadness that we must have experienced with this discovery. However, the significance lied in what we did not reveal. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these hitherto withheld photographs will no doubt count in my favor, as they are damnably vivid and graphic. Still, there will be those that will scoff at these because of the lengths at which trickery can be carried. The crowning abnormality of the bodies that we found was that they had been mutilated in fiendish and altogether inexplicable ways. All the healthier, fattier bodies, dogs and men alike, had had most of their tissues removed as by careful butcher, and around the bodies was a strange sprinkling of salt. Most of the fossils were missing. After burying the bodies, I called for a full abortion of the expedition and decided that we should vacate Antarctica as soon as possible. However, with curiosity and hopes of finding young Lewis Gedney, young graduate student Riley Danforth and myself left in a Dornier airplane to investigate the mountain ranges and the architectural anomalies that Lake had reported back to us. Within an hour of our flight, we spotted this. The effect was that of a cyclopean city, whose vastness had ensured the survival of whatever had dwelled here millions of years ago. We landed outside of the city and began to investigate the interior. From deciphering the hieroglyphic murals on the interior of the city, we deduced that the city was built by beings known again in certain texts as the Elder Ones, who had apparently come from the sky long before man had ever walked this planet. They built their city with the help of Shoggoths, protoplasmic masses capable of assuming any form and carrying out any tasks. From our further deductions from the hieroglyphic murals, we found that the Shoggoths had rebelled and forced the Elder Things off the continent to some subterranean ocean. Moving further within the interior of the city after several hours, we were stopped in our inward progress by a discovery of two frozen bodies well preserved. That of Lewis Gedney and the missing dog, both dead. We continued on further into the city before feeling a presence that indicated that we were not alone on this city. We escaped with our lives and made it back to the Dornier airplane, though I fear young Riley Danforth will never be the same. I had stated in my report that Danforth screamed very suddenly while looking outside of our plane as I piloted us back to base, though he would not reveal what he had indeed seen. It was a single demonic glimpse, which I am very sure is responsible for his present breakdown. We returned to the States, and we lied to this board, to this university, to the world, about what we had seen. It was only with the planning of the Starkweather Moore follow-up expedition that we began to make our findings public. I wrote to this university. I made claims. I wrote to the families of those that had died. Young Riley Danforth attempted public suicide 9 months ago. Despite all of this, we were ignored. The expedition went forward, and now Starkweather and Moore have returned. And they're saying that we are wrong. This university is saying that none of this happened, could not have happened. Yet this is not the first time, ladies and gentlemen, that this university or the authorities have suppressed knowledge of this nature. Now, I have mentioned earlier that we knew of certain ancient texts that suggested that the Elder Things existed. It is a well-known fact that Miskatonic University is in possession of a wing of the library devoted to articles, grimoires, and notebooks apparently of the occult. One of these manuscripts is what we have come to know in the academic world as the Necronomicon. What we know of this grimoire is that it was written in ancient times by one Abdul al-Hazared. There are 5 known copies of this grimoire in the world, all in the possession of major universities.
I do not see how this could possibly be relevant to your defense.
We have treated this grimoire as merely fiction, some mad ravings by some Arab in ancient times. But there are several incidents in our recent history that make me question its validity. In 1913, Miskatonic University professor Nathaniel Westgate Peasley of economics was dismissed from this university because he claims that he experienced visions and experiences of a race known as the Yithians.
Dr. Dyer, please contain yourself to matters relevant to your defense.
The Yithians are described quite prominently within the Necronomicon. He was dismissed for erratic behavior in 1913. In 1926, Boston artist Richard Upton Pickman began publishing drawings that he said were inspired by an illegal copy of the Necronomicon. Also has disappeared without a trace. Now, this university has come in possession of these drawings sometime later, but they did not make them public. I would like to pose this. If these were drawings based on a fictional grimoire, why have they not been made available to the larger public? Except for an incident 2 years ago where they were leaked. 5 of them at least, including this one.
Willis, this is not germane to your case. Please.
In 1928, former Miskatonic student Randolph Carter disappears without a trace after making claims that he had experiences and had seen things similar to those described in the Necronomicon, has disappeared without a trace. This past May, Miskatonic folklore student Walter Gilman was murdered. A hole was burrowed through his chest and his heart was eaten out.
It was a tragedy, Will.
Weeks before this, was documented as having studied the Necronomicon before being barred by several of my colleagues. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you will indulge me for 1 minute, I have recently come across the notes of the late Francis Wayland Thurston of Boston. Now, Thurston was investigating cult activity related to and around a certain deity in the Necronomicon described as Cthulhu.
You are not remotely helping yourself right now.
We have a rendering by Pickman. Thurston came across a well-concealed 1907 incident. In St. Louis, policemen were looking for several missing women and children. Well, they found them. Being used in a cannibalistic orgy centered around a statue of this being. 100 men were praying and committing acts of violence for this deity. I would like to pose this. If this is a deity only described in 5 known books, kept under well-concealed places, how is it that 100 men in St. Louis knew to pray to it?
How can anything that happened in St. Louis shed light on your behavior in the Antarctic?
Coming back to Arkham then. April 1929. 3 of our professors, Armitage, Rice, and Morgan,
That is
are
enough,
suspended
Dr. Dyer.
for going
Will,
to
that is
Greenwich,
enough!
Massachusetts.
Will, you are talking! This request is done!
Damn it, let him finish! Let him speak.
In 1929, 3 of our professors, Armitage, Rice, and Morgan, investigating a theft of the Necronomicon that was attempted by one Wilbur Whately of Dunwich, traveled to Dunwich, Massachusetts, and claimed that they took care of an entity described as Yog-Sothoth within the Necronomicon. They were suspended indefinitely. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an unfortunate fact that relatively obscure men like myself and these have little chance of making an impression where the nature of highly bizarre things are concerned. Yet, time and time again, this university and the authorities have been suppressing knowledge to this effect. Why? I think they are very afraid right now. I believe that the oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear. The oldest and strongest kind of that fear is fear of the unknown. The most merciful thing in the world, I think, is the inability of the human mind to correlate all its contents. I mean, we live in a placid state of ignorance in the midst of black seas of infinity, and it was not meant that we should voyage far. Our means of receiving new impressions are absurdly few, and our task of assuming and seeing things infinitely narrow. We see things only as we are programmed, as we are constructed to see them. We gain no notion of their higher purpose. With 5 feeble senses, we pretend that we can comprehend the vast cosmos. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that my comrade, Riley Danforth, is exhibiting behavior that suggests that a presence similar to the one found in Dunwich is in fact here. And it has followed the Starkweather-Moore expedition back to these shores. Your expedition, Dr. Moore, brought back fossils of very, very vague detail.
My expedition is not on trial.
These findings have not been made aware to the public or the scientific community. While these findings were located and your men died, Mr. Charles Starkweather was incapacitated and unconscious while all these happenings occurred. I would like the public to pose this question with me, Dr. Moore. What did you bring back?
My expedition
is
not on trial,
It was
Dr. Dyer.
This
university is not on trial, Dr. Dyer. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Dr. Dyer, for your testimony. Thank you. Look, Will, it was not my intention to be present at this inquest. I felt there was a conflict of interest, given the purposes of our 2 expeditions. But now I am very glad I allowed my good friend Charles Starkweather to prevail upon me, because now I have seen for myself that you have no defense for your actions, except mumbled superstition and vague half-truths. I feel that you are throwing a convoluted web over a very simple case of moral turpitude and scientific incompetence. Normally, the Board of Regents would vote on a case such as this. But according to the bylaws of this university, as the newly appointed chair of the College of Natural Sciences, I may provide a unilateral decision.
When did this happen? When was this decided?
Dr. Dyer, you have been stripped of your tenure, as well as your classroom responsibilities. You are no longer affiliated with this university and may not use its name in connection with your publishings. Dr. Dyer, you may not use the university's resources, including the supernatural wing of the library. And frankly, I think it would be best if you stayed off campus altogether. But quite simply, Will, you no longer serve at the pleasure of this institution. Shall we?
You can go ahead without me. I need some time alone.
All right.
Charles. am I strapped to this bed? Why am I strapped to this bed? Why am I strapped to this fucking bed?
You tried to kill him. You tried to kill him. I had to.
Tried to kill who?
Your friend, Will Dyer.
I haven't seen Will in almost a year. Nurse. Did I hurt you?
Yes. What's happening? What is it? You're not crazy. I know you're not. What is it?
Do you believe in God?
Yes. Yes.
I've never told this to anyone. Not even Will. We left Antarctica. I looked back and I saw something. I didn't understand what it was until now. When I looked back, I saw God. And now, I want to show you God. You have to undo these straps. Otherwise, I can't show you. Please.
Sorry, it's just strange to see a young woman alone at a church at this hour. I've just been studying. I like the quiet. I've been studying the book of Job. It's a very troubling book. It's a series of dialogues, you know. Job has been left defenseless. God has removed his protection from him, and he's been opened up to the world and the evil one. And Job is cast so low. And everyone he meets has advice for him. They tell him to forget God, to curse God, to reject God. But all Job does is ask questions and accept silence as his answer. And then Job is blessed. He gets so much more than he lost. But the question is never answered. Is Job blessed because the proper response was to ask questions? Or was Job blessed because the proper response was to accept silence as your answer? Sorry, I'm rambling, but it's very personal to me. I felt God's presence in a very real way in my life, and now I feel like I've been left open to the world, and I don't know if I'm being tested or if I've just been abandoned. I don't know if I'm a prophet or if I'm Job.
I've seen God.
Have you? Have you really? Describe it to me, the presence, the feeling.
It is an overwhelming expanse. Divinity across giant yet subtle threshold.
It's the vibration of the universe in every cell of your body, the deafening whisper, the name that says itself. Yes, I thought I was alone. I thought, you're a nurse. Yes, you're a nurse. I'm going to ask you a very, very strange question, but you'll have to accept that it's important. Do you work at Arkham Sanitarium?
Yes, I'm Danforth's nurse.
How on earth did you know that I was going to ask you about Danforth?
It's Danforth.
No. No. No, it's not Danforth. It can't be Danforth. You don't understand. I have done things. You don't understand. I have done terrible things in the name. I can't be left out in the cold. I have to have my place. It can't be Danforth.
Never wrong. Never.
We both have our parts to play then. Are you scared? Are you nervous? It's such a big responsibility. And the angel came and said, Hail thou that art highly favored. The Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women. And when she saw him, she was troubled at his saying, and cast in her mind for what manner of salutation this should be. And the angel said unto her, Fear not, for thou hast found favor with God. And behold, thou shalt conceive, and bring forth a son, and he shall be great, and he shall be called Son of the Most High. And he will be given the throne of David, and he will rule over the people of Jacob forever and ever. Hail thou that art highly favored among women, for you have found favor with God. The Lord is with thee.
Show me.
What secrets are you keeping?
Go to him.
Charles, this is an invasion of my privacy.
Albert, what have you done? What have you done? It's the girl. The one from the radio, Claire. Why, Albert? Why? What are the secrets are you keeping? Was Will right?
Don't look.
Was he right?
Don't look in the other boxes, Charles. Don't open any of the other boxes.
Albert, open that box right now. I need to see what's inside. Open it now! Now, Albert. It's been too long. Open it. I need to see what's in there. I need to see for myself what's in there.
Shockingly, police investigation has found that the snow beneath yesterday's snowfall was stained red with blood. The horrifying implications of this discovery are too terrible to speak aloud. We now must trust, hope, and prayer that the search for Clara Walters will end with finding her alive and well. We ask the community to continue their search for any clues, and especially to pray for the lost Clara Walters. In other news, Visconti University has come to a decision in the matter of Dr. William Dyer for ethical misconduct during the Peabody expedition. His conduct has been found unethical on several counts, namely his decision to abandon the artifacts that his comrades paid for their lives with, perpetuating fantastic lies with the intent to create panic and fear and populace and finally, and most seriously, the torture, mutilation, and murder of the Rossetti. A police investigation is to follow this accusation. The strange turn of events, however, is Mr. Starkweather, who first brought about these accusations, was the only person to stand up for him at his hearing. The
W1.
Archives.
Charles, I know you want answers, and I think that you deserve them. You're just going to have to let me give them to you in my own way. This girl is Clara Walters. I killed her with my own hands, here on the floor, the night before Lewis's funeral. I killed her because God told me to. This isn't the first time God's told me to kill Charles. All the men on our expedition, I killed them too. I snuffed them out like candles. Because I came face to face with a piece of God down there. And he said, kill all of them, but spare one, and I will be strong enough to come back with you. And so I killed them all, and I spared you. And then a few nights ago, God told me to kill again. And I honestly believed that I was going to have to kill you. But God sent Clara to me. And she was able to die in your place. If it wasn't for her, you would be in that box. Now, Charles, God is asking for one more sacrifice. And I've done the research. I've found the answers. There's only one person who can fill the role and die tonight.
William Henry Dyer.
Hello, Will.
Albert. Riley. I have a gun. I have a gun. And you. No. This.
Do not kill him. The altar.
It's not too late.
Mine enemy laid low before me.
Albert, what have you done? You killed the men on your expedition. You've killed this girl. Why?
They're martyrs, Will. Martyrs, they died so that a new age could begin. Their deaths are part of something so much bigger. so that he could walk on the earth once again. You see, well, your expedition brought back nothing. Mine brought back a piece of the living God, and I serve him, and he has made me his prophet.
God?
Yes, God.
What are you talking about, Albert?
He whispered his true name to me. Yog Sothoth.
Albert, you're very confused right now. You need to listen to me. Yog-Sothoth is not God. It's not God. Yog-Sothoth isn't the God, but isn't a God. It is not what we think it is.
I'm confused? At least I don't have the arrogance to come face to face with God and reject him because he doesn't look the way I thought he was going to.
Albert, listen to me. These things described in the Necronomicon, these things that we have encountered, they don't care about us. We're like ants to them. We're nothing. They're not, it's not God, Albert.
Will, I have stood powerless in his presence. I have felt his work in my soul. I have felt his power in every cell of my body. So, believe me when I say, I have seen God. Do you honestly think that when you're confronted with something so powerful that makes all of the books wrong, that how is it logical to reject it? I say that the only answer is to reject the books.
It's not God. It can't be God, Albert. It can't.
Will, do you want to see what you've been fighting against? Do you want to see what you threw your life away trying to prevent? I'll show you. An age of miracles, starting with this one. Now, Charles, you have a choice. You can choose to struggle with humanity, or you can stand up, a soldier of God.
Charles, listen to me very carefully. This isn't what you think it is. It's not. It's not God.
As a man of science, can you really see empirical, irrefutable evidence and not reject your hypothesis? What we serve is God. You have thrown your life away for nothing. us begin. Yog-Sothoth knows the gate.
What are you doing?
Yog-Sothoth is the gate. Yog-Sothoth is he and
What is in
guardian of the gate.
Albert, what's in that box?
Yog-Sothoth is, was, and
Albert, what is in that box?
shall be.
No!
Yog-Sothoth knows the gate.
No!
Yog-Sothoth is the gate. Yog-Sothoth is
No!
the
No!
guardian of the gate. Yog-Sothoth is, was, and ever shall be.
No!
Yog-Sothoth is the gate. Yog-Sothoth knows the gate. Yog-Sothoth is he and
Riley,
guardian of
don't!
the gate. Yog-Sothoth
Riley,
is,
wake
was,
up!
and ever shall be.
No!
In the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and it was a light in the darkness, but the darkness did not extinguish the light. We're prophets, Charles. We're here at the very beginning.
Charles, please listen to me. Please, please, no, no, please stop. Albert, Charles, this needs to stop, Albert.
Charles, you don't know what you're doing.
Hold on too long.
Charles,
This
it's
is
not
not
good.
Now stop. No. What are you? Why are you here? You need to be stopped. What do you want with us? Wait, Charles, wait. Whatever you are, you're not God. Stay back! Stay back! Stay back! No! No! What's happening?
Though the days are long, twilight sings a song of the happiness that used to be. Soon my eyes will close, and I'll find repose, and in dreams you're always near to me. I'll see you in my dreams, hold you in my dreams. Someone took you out of my arms. Still I feel the thrill of your charm. Lips that once were mine, tender eyes that shine. They will light my way tonight. I'll see you in my dreams. I'll see you in my dreams. I'll hold you in my dreams. Someone took you out of my arms. Still I feel the thrill of your charm. Lips that once were mine,